Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy May 1st. Can you believe it? It's already May 1st. The year's going by pretty quick. Some baseball's already been played, right? We're gonna talk about the New York Yankees, the good and the bad. I want to kind of throw some questions around. I'll actually post a link to the panels, so for anybody who wants to come up. I'll have you all come up and we'll talk, right? Well, hopefully we could have a nice little conversation here. But this live stream here, I wanted to strictly do it for the members. I wanted to do something for the members just because I this is something I've been wanting to do, excuse me, for quite some time. And I feel like I got to give back to the folks that are members of this channel, whether you're longtime members or like members that were gifted memberships. I wanted to do a little something. So, it's just my way of giving back and just my way of saying thanks. And, it kind of gives you all an opportunity to spread your voice. Right. So this is strictly for like the members, the moderators on this channel. Like I said, I wanted to give back. So I'll put the link to the open panel. We'll talk about the Yankees. Now, I know we're not in August or September, but I want to know, over the last month, what you like seeing from the Yankees, what you don't like seeing. We'll have these conversations. So let's say what's up to the chat real quick. We got Ken in the chat, Petruzzi's in the chat. Rodney is in the chat. So who else we got? Brad, Stephen B, Desiree, what up? What is going on? So let me put the link to the open panel. So for anybody who wants to come up and talk, we'll throw it around. We'll have the conversation, but that's the link right there. So for anybody who wants to come up, come on up, join the party. Let's have a little chit chat and see how you all are feeling about the Yankees so far. So the Yankees right now are 18-13. After they opened up the series against the Brewers in the season, they swept the Brewers. They went 3-0. They went 18. They went 15-13 in the month of April. So it's kind of a shaky April for them. I mean, there's times where they looked good, other times not so much. But here we are. And shout out to Daniel Berry, the newest member of the channel. What's up, man? How's it going? Shout out to you, man. Thanks for being a member. Thank you so much. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, man. How you doing there, Daniel? How's life? But yeah, for anybody who wants to jump on though, the open panel, it's right there. So don't feel shy. All right. I know some of you get real talkative in the chat. So let's see if y'all want to come up. And looks like I do have somebody in the back here. I'll invite him up. I do have Ken in the back. So I know he just got done calling a play-by-play with the Diamondbacks and Mets. So maybe he could tell us a little bit about that. But Ken, you ready to go, man? Sweet. So here, let me do this real quick. So welcome, Ken. How's it going?
Not bad. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I'm doing pretty good. I know you called the play-by-play there for the Mets Diamondbacks game. How was that game?
Actually, the Diamondbacks ended up winning the game 4-2.
Uh-huh.
And it was the first time that the Diamondbacks have won a series at Citi Field since 2017.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, they've been a long streak out there. Mets highlights today. Juan Soto hit 2 solo home runs during the game.
Yep.
So
I did hear that, yeah.
But he's hitting 241, so the fans were, after he went 0 for 2 off the bat, you could hear the grumblings from the crowd. They weren't none too pleased about the batting average, and he had 4 home runs, so he has 6 now. Zach Gallen since he left the Bronx after he kicked our tails thoroughly, has not pitched well. And today he looked like the Bronx Zach Gallen that we saw because he was eating the Mets up. He was throwing that damn knuckle curve and curveball for strikes at will. Anytime he wanted it, it was there. Then he started throwing a little bit outside where people were reaching for it, dropping it down just a little low, so they were swinging over the top of it. Like I says, it was a master class again.
Yeah, I mean, Gallen's a good pitcher. When we all know he's going to be a free agent. I mean, that's one guy I'd love for the Yankees to look into potentially, but that's a conversation for a different day. But I wanted to throw this question to you and whoever else comes up. If anybody in the chat wants to share their thoughts, please do. But so the Yankees, right, they started the series against the Brewers. They went 3-0. They swept, right? They looked really good in that series. The month of April was a pretty rough one for them. So the Yankees went 15-13 in the month of April. And just to kind of go over what they did in each series, I'll just do a quick rundown. They went 1-2 versus the Diamondbacks, 2-1 against the Pirates, 1-2 against the Tigers, 1-2 against the Giants, 3-0 versus the Royals. So they swept the Royals. They went 3-1 against the Rays, 1-2 against the Guardians, 2-1 against the Blue Jays, and the series that just ended yesterday, they went 1-2. So, they lost quite a few series here. They lost the series to the Diamondbacks, to the Tigers, Giants, Guardians, Orioles. I mean, they lost 5 series in that month. I mean, that's a lot of series, I would say. But they went 15-13. Now it's only 28 games that have been, the record now, 15-13 in the month of April. They're 18-13 right now, so 31 games played so far. Now I know it's still early in the season, right? But I'll ask you this question real quick, Ken, and folks in the chat, if you want to answer this question, feel free. And like I said, I do have the link to the open panel. If you all need it again, let me know. I could post it. But I'll ask this question real quick. So from what you've noticed, because I know you watch all the games, what is something that you like from this 2025 New York Yankees team that you didn't see in 2024, and what are you not liking thus far? Wherever you want to start.
What am I liking that I didn't see in 2024? A more stable infield defense. I will tell you what, Jazz Chisholm may be a freaking soup sandwich when it comes to being at the plate, but I don't think I've ever seen a guy who releases the ball quicker than Chisholm does and accurate to first base. We've made, I don't know how many double plays with Volpe and Jazz that there's no chance in hell if Glaber's there that we make even half of them. So I like that aspect of it. Paul Goldschmidt at first is a freaking defensive god. We haven't seen that in years, especially with the rotating first baseman we've had, plus Rizzo's injuries when he was part of this team. And actually, I'm not dissatisfied with Oswaldo's play at third base. He's had 3 air balls that have looked ridiculous.
Kind of like the blocked it.
Yeah, but they're, for the most part, he's fielding the position very solidly. It's his first time being a damn near an everyday starter, so may have some fatigue issues there. The one area that I continue to be annoyed with, and it's everybody's boy, Austin Wells. Once again, another throw to second base that is up. And I mean, you have that powder puff benches clearing crap. I don't even know what the hell it was for. It was 2 players jawing at each other. In last night's game.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense, but it is what it is. But Wells, he's just not a good thrower to second base. Once this season he's hit the pitcher's mound. How you do that as a second baseman, or a catcher, I have no idea. He's airmailed balls to center field to Bellinger and Grisham both. And if Reyes wasn't flying, there would have been a third one airmailed to the outfield. I mean, he's not really stopping the run game at all. And to me, that's important, especially when we come up against teams like Boston, who tends to run a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen enough of Ascara to know if he actually has an arm and can play decent D behind the dish. He's had a couple of lazy plays. One of them cost us the other day when he olayed a ball that went to the backstop and a run ended up scoring. And we ended up blowing the game wide open at that point. And I know for a fact that Ben Rice is a freaking soup sandwich as a catcher. There is no way you could put teams that run on the pitching and expect him to gun anybody either.
Yeah, that was the answer to Beagle's question there. Rice's arm is not better than Wells. Rice, just for the record, yes, he is a catcher, but he's been primarily playing first base for the most part for the Yankees. But he's not known for his defense, Ben Rice. He is known he has always been known for his bat, but not his defense, and that's always been said about him. But is that the only bad thing you got to say about the Yankees is Austin Wells? I know people were giving you a hard time about Wells, and
no, that's I'm just going around the infield.
Okay, fair enough. I can respect that.
The outfield, Grisham, Judge, Bellinger, absolutely no complaint about the defense. Actually, I don't have a lot of complaints about Dominguez either. Mm-hmm. He has shown a drastic improvement in his ability to take routes that make sense to the ball. He's had a few oopses past the first couple of series, but he's playing a better left field than Juan Soto did right field for us last year.
Agreed.
So I don't truly have a lot of gripes about him. If I had a personal bitch about Dominguez, is that he would stop hitting right-handed because he is freaking horrible.
Yeah.
He is hitting 0.58 against as a right-handed batter. Mm-hmm. And you might as well stick a cardboard cutout for that kind of production. But with regard to the outfield, I like their play. I would like to see more action out of Bellinger's bat, but
sure.
Up and down, the Yankees are a better overall team with regard to infield and outfield dynamics compared to 2024 very easily. Where we are not better is the rotation. The rotation is a freaking soup sandwich. We cannot continue to have games. I mean, we should have kicked the Orioles' butt in this last series, but because of two pitchers who couldn't seem to get out of the third damn inning, Carlos Carrasco being one of them, mm-hmm. and if I had my personal wish, he would have pitched his last inning as a Yankee last night. He'd be done. I'd rather throw a bullpen than have him on the mound again because he gave up the runs. He pretty much put us out of the game by the time he left.
Yeah.
Will Warren I understand he's a prospect. I'm willing to give him time. He's up, he's down, he's left, he's right. I can live with one pitcher, but two of those guys put together, and you throw Marcus Stroman in there if he comes back, you've got a bullpen that's eaten up by All-Star break.
Yeah. And this is a bullpen that's incomplete right now still, when you think about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My personal solutions, a lot of people I know from my stream and other chats are like, bring Schlittler up. He's not ready. If you bring him up, he's going to get his head kicked in. One option that I would look at is probably possibly stretching out Hedrick. Hedrick has done some good work with us to begin the season. We sent him down. He actually broke camp with us, and I thought that they were sending him down to stretch him out to actually possibly be one of our spot starters or whatnot. He's got quality stuff, and when he was up with us and in spring training, he did a great job.
You're talking about Schlittler, correct?
No. Hedrick.
Oh, Hedrick. Yes. Yeah, and you brought up Schlittler. I think it's too early to call him up. I think he's got good stuff, but there's things that he needs to work on still.
Yeah, Schlittler is slow on the pickoff against running teams. They're going to eat him up.
Mm-hmm.
He's very long in the delivery, and when I was watching him in spring training, he was tipping pitches. And when he got beat up by the professional hitters, it's because he was tipping. He's got to do a better job of disguising his pitches, and he's not going to learn how to do that at the major league level. So that's why I would not bring him up because, like I said, he's just not ready.
Copy. I'm in agreement with that. But
it would be nice to see JT Brubaker actually make it back to the damn field. That guy's probably got the worst luck of any player next to Scott Effross. And I mean, Effross is allegedly on the mend, but I think about 3 pitches into whenever he comes back up to the major leagues, he'll be injured again. He'll be out of there.
He'll just take one step and he'll get hurt. I mean, that's kind of like how he gets hurt. It's unfortunate. I mean, the guy's barely pitched, Effross. So my hope of him coming back ever, I'm not even holding my breath, honestly. So, but with that being said, real quick, let me let you finish your last thought because I got 2 more people waiting, and I'll bring them up and I'll ask them the same question that I asked you.
Like I said, the rotation is a big concern to me. If you look at a lot of the fan narratives, they are wanting us to make a move for a starting pitcher. Well, I'm here to tell you that starting pitcher doesn't exist. There's nobody available. The rumor mill about bringing Sandy Alcantara to the Yankees is a pipe dream. And I'll tell you what, it's a bad pipe dream. Alcantara is coming off of a Tommy John injury season.
Mm-hmm.
His record at this point is 2-3, and his ERA is like an 8.31. What the hell do we need to bring a pitcher like that to New York? It's probably going to take him 5 months or so to actually get straightened out. Walker Buehler, it took almost a year before he could pitch well again, and he was a tier 1 pitcher when he went down. So where the help is going to come from, I don't know. Do we have the makings to fix it internally? I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, I know, folks bring up Sandy, but I mean, maybe that's a guy. I don't think the Yankees are going to make any trades right now. I mean, they did actually get Brian De La Cruz. I don't know if anybody saw that, but they did add Brian De La Cruz to the roster. They put Giancarlo Stanton on this 60-day IL, so I guess they brought him in as
Atlanta Brave outfielder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but with that being said here, I got a couple of other people waiting in the back, and I'll ask them the same questions. I'll have each of you give you your take. I got both Sunil and Jonathan waiting in the back. You gentlemen ready? Cool. Say both give me a thumbs up. So let me get Sunil up real quick. I'll get Jonathan up real quick. Let me just switch you guys up here. So I don't know how much of the conversation you all caught, but there was a question that I asked Ken. So I'll ask the same question to all of you again. So the Yankees right now, overall, their record is 18-13. They went 15-13 in the month of April. They've lost 5 series in April, right? So it's been kind of up and down with these guys. I mean, I know they're dealing with injuries. They're dealing with some issues. But so far, once again, 18-13, 31 games played. I know it's still early in the season. We're in the month of May, and we'll talk about the May schedule later. Well, I'll ask.
Give me a sec.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to hop off.
Okay.
Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come on your show
You're welcome.
and talk. Thank you, and have a great rest of the show. I've got grandpa duties to do.
Oh, you do what you got to do, man. Grandkids come first. So by all means, folks in the chat, make sure you all subscribe to The Ugly Truth. This is Ken's channel. So, but Ken, thanks for jumping on.
Before Ken jumps off, I just got to say that comment I threw on his live game stream today was purely out of love and respect when I said that, he's kind of like watching John Sterling on National Public Radio calling Yankee games the way he does his stuff. I mean, it's really calming and everything, I just wanted to throw that out there for you. You have that way of doing it.
Well, yeah. Been following the Yankees for a lot of years, been listening to a lot of people call different ways. And, you tend to replicate things that you appreciate in other creators and announcers and whatnot.
Just rip off into a storytelling, thing at some point, enlighten us with history and everything. It's encouraging. That's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you. Most appreciated, brother.
All right, Ken.
I am out.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I was saying, the Yankees overall, they're 18-13. They went 15-13 in the month of April, right? So, kind of going down the series again. I'll read off each series real quick. So, they went in the month of April. They went 1-2 against the Diamondbacks, 2-1 against the Pirates, 1-2 against the Tigers, 1-2 versus the Giants. They swept the Royals. They went 3-1 against the Rays. They went 1-2 against the Guardians. They went 2-1 against the Blue Jays, and they just finished the series against the Orioles, which was 1-2. So I know it's 31 games. Once again, I know the season, it's still young, it's still early. It's not like we're in September where it's crunch time. But I'll ask you, gentlemen, and like I said, let me just get you guys flipped up here. So I'll start with Sunil. I'll have your take first, and then Jonathan, I'll get yours. What are you liking from this 2025 New York Yankees team that you did not see in 2024? And then what are you not liking about this Yankees team currently? So go shoot away there, Sunil.
Situational hitting has improved to a clip, even though the results don't necessarily speak to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have the antithesis of what John Sterling called out publicly on the radio last year. They're not running the bases like drunks. The base running is somewhat better and improved. The defense, I mean, everybody's going to call out Gleyber Torres here at second base and in situations like that. And of course, he who shall not be named, who moved to the other side of town in right field, has also had his fair share of defensive faux pas. So, I would say those are just a couple of the positives.
Okay.
What I don't like,
the
reliance on veteran pitching like Carrasco and Stroman is going to have an expiry date, just as Ken was saying as he left. Stroman, I can see a quasi Jacoby Ellsbury-like dealing, even though it's not going to be exactly verbatim the same situation where insurance is paying his contract to stay away from the team and so on. It's going to be a different flavor of that treatment for him. I don't foresee him pitching at all. We've got Heel on the mend coming in another month or two. Warren, though, scares me. He's not bringing you length. And he's kind of like a junior Schmidt. Both of those guys, Schmidt has had the issue from last year where you cannot go through more than 2 iterations through the rotation, whether that lasts you 4, 5, or 6 innings.
Well, you got to – okay, so here's the thing to consider about Warren. The guy's a rookie.
Sure.
So we got to give him some time, right? But as you know, man, a lot of Yankees fans were not patient with prospects. So a lot of folk, so you gotta let him settle in. You got to give him time. he has potential. In some games, he's shown
Of
that
course.
he's got the stuff. And I'm right there with you, man. I'm loving the situational hitting. I know
Stealing
sometimes
bases.
stealing bases. Yeah, so the Yankees are I feel like they're marginally better,
Hmm.
even though they're still losing games, but they're finding ways to come back. But it's just like they're so close, but they're like they don't cross that finish line.
I would encourage everybody listening in the chat not to use the word better or worse. Let's not go extreme left or extreme right.
Sure.
This team is more complete, is probably the more accurate way of saying. It's more well-rounded. It's more focused on fundamentals. That is the improvement you're seeing on a lot of different areas.
Real quick, I'm just gonna fill up my mug. Continue talking. I'm
Yeah,
listening.
yeah. So yeah, it's more complete on the fundamentals. I'm sure Jonathan, you might want to chime in on that, and you might agree on that too, because your analytics department amongst the fan base, as I so lovingly like to say, every time I bring up those, tirades on Fire Cashman, Fire Boone, Fire Rouse, and Fire Blake, bringing Jonathan NFE, bringing one Jason from 161, bringing Mazza, bringing Uncle Tats.
Yeah, I find that this team is a better defensive team
Yes,
than last year.
absolutely.
The problem is they don't seem to hit well with runners in scoring position, and they
Say that.
strike.
Say that one more time, louder. Let
I
everybody
don't.
hear
Let
you.
him,
Come on.
let him
If
speak.
you
Let him
don't, if you
speak.
need it louder, you have to turn up your computer.
No, but you made a valid point. Hitting with runners in scoring position needs to improve. That's why I'm
Let him. Yeah, let him.
emphasizing it.
Sunil, let him speak. Let Jonathan speak.
Yeah, that's
Go
what I'm
ahead.
saying.
Go ahead, Jonathan. All yours, my friend. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Okay. And hitting in runners in scoring position, and getting, especially in extra innings, when you have that runner in on when you have the extra base runner, they're giving you 180 feet. In your extra innings, you either have to get him over the third, regardless. Don't They have to not widen the strike zone when they're at bat. Be patient at the plate. Have a better eye at the plate. Don't chase the ball out of the strike zone. Don't don't hit the ball like you're hitting a golf club. Be much more selective.
Okay, so you're saying what you're liking out of this team so far this year is their defense, yes?
I'm liking the defense better.
Mm-hmm.
And they're better. They're slightly better on the bases than
Okay.
last year. I would think. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I like Austin Wells throwing better than last year.
Yes,
Oh, I wish
agreed.
Ken was here for that one because he kind of chewed into Austin Wells a little bit with his throws.
I think he's a better option than Trevino. That's
I
why
would
that's
agree.
why that's why I think he's better than what we had last year, because I'm comparing him to Trevino.
What I'll say this about Austin Wells, look, I don't think his throws are still not. I think that still needs work.
Of
It
course.
looks better than where it was last season. What I will say about Austin Wells, real quick, is that I feel like he is calling a better game behind the plate. He always has, but I'm saying he looks more he looks more veteran like this
Yeah.
season.
Well,
I feel like behind the plate.
this is the second full. This is the second
Yes,
year.
this is his
So
second year.
he had one full year under a veteran catcher. He had well, one thing, Austin Wells may have been better under a manager like Girardi with his background knowledge of catching, although he probably had a lot of guys in spring training like Brasada and others to help
Yeah,
him.
yeah. So let me get to a few of the comments here. So because I asked that question, I asked folks to drop their
I want to address Stephen B's comment about including him on the tirade. Stephen B, you're the honorary member of that thing. If I ever say Fire, Boone, Cashman, Hal, and all that thing, you're the honorary member, so you're not left out.
There you go. So let me get to a few of the comments here. So Nosebleed saying still do not hit well versus lefties or situationally.
Balance out the right-handed hitting. That's all you got to say to that.
Yeah. And then Stephen B says he likes the defense better. I'm in agreement with that. The defense, I want to say this about the defense real quick because, once again, Ken brought this up. Now, there's a few guys that are not hitting right now. Okay, I'm looking at Volpe. Although Volpe's been a little bit better lately, but I am looking at Jazz before he got hurt. He wasn't hitting. Cody Bellinger, he's another one. But what I will say is that if these guys are not hitting, let me finish my thought, Jonathan, and I'll get to you. These guys are not hitting, but at least they're making plays in the freaking field, right? Whereas 2024, hold on to your seats, right? So even though these guys are not hitting, I will take Jazz's defense over Glaber's hitting. I love Glaber, and again, I am not bashing Gleyber Torres. I like Gleyber Torres, but I will take Jazz's defense at second base over Gleyber any day of the week because Jazz does make some great freaking plays. And that game where Max Fried was pitching a perfect game, he risked his body to make that damn play so he can, so that perfect game can still be happening. So, I'll take that hustle from Jazz. I'll take the hustle from Cody Bellinger. I mean, Cody Bellinger makes some great plays out there in the outfield as well, right? And then Stephen B also brings up deeper lineup and Wells. He says Wells has had some good throws and bad tags. Yeah, for sure. And then Mr. Coconuts is saying the infield needs to hit more. They can hit like this no matter how they can't hit like this no matter how good their glove is. I mean, I wish they couldn't with some of their gloves, like their glove is great. I wish they can show that in the offense too. I wish their bats were as good as their defense was. But like I said, with the defense, if they're making plays out there, I'll take it. But the bats, some of those bats, they do need to step up. And I just want to see if there's any other.
I got two key points I wanted to add.
Go ahead, Jonathan. I know you had your hand up, so say what you need to say.
I would say also this year Dominguez has improved defensively.
Yes.
Compared to what we saw in the past. And what I would recommend for Dominguez, if I was a coach, I would recommend him to stick to batting from the left side until he can improve his right side.
So with that, actually, I'll ask that question here in a minute. But
I know he's a switch hitter, but he's much better from the lefty side. And if I know you like Bernie Williams, and if you know the history of Bernie Williams, he started out as a right-handed hitter, and then 2 years into minors, he started switch hitting. Maybe it's the opposite for Dominguez. He's a switch hitter, but he's much better from the left side. So why not stay lefty? And also having a lefty bat in there all the time balances out the lineup better.
No doubt. But I have a question about Dominguez, but I'll ask that question here momentarily. But Sunil, I think you wanted to add something real quick.
Yeah, a couple of good points. In hindsight, I kind of wish this kind of complements the thought pattern around balancing out the lineup from the right side as well, because we're too lefty at times. I wish we had a righty catcher to platoon with Wells, but it is what it is. It's kind of like the reverse problem of when we had in 2018 with Austin Romine and Gary Sanchez, two right-handed hitting catchers batting and sharing the platoon role there. And then my second point is this is kind of a scary concern for me because this goes back to Joe Girardi's first year. You remember a rookie pitcher by the name of Ian Kennedy?
Yes.
He was good in 2017 when he came up for the cup of coffee. 2018, not so good. I'm just afraid to see something similar like that transpire for Will Warren. I don't want to shake the kid's confidence. He's definitely got potential. But I just want to see this guy actually succeed. I mean, he had a relatively good spring training. I just want to see a lot of that come out and show its potential. Right now, it's sort of a mixed bag of results. And given that he's got options right now, and to point to the point that Ken brought up earlier as I entered the conversation about bringing up Hedrick and stretching him out potentially to be a third lefty starter. Do you really go with three lefties? I mean, I know you did in '96 when you had Rogers, Pettit, and Jimmy Key.
Sure.
But is that going to be better here? I mean, Hedrick versus Warren as your number 3 and number 4.
I mean, that was Ken's take.
Yeah.
You know, I respect it.
Yeah.
I don't right now. The rotation is, I mean, even with Hedrick, just my personal opinion.
Mhm.
I don't know that the rotation is going to be any better. I mean, it's
Mhm.
not good right now,
No.
but is it going to improve greatly with Hedrick? Maybe.
One thing you have to remember about the rotation, you're missing 3 of your top starting pitchers.
Yeah, Cole is one.
Well, Cole and Hill are the only ones missing now. I mean, Schmidt's back.
Schmidt,
Mhm.
Schmidt is back. Yes, Cole and Hill. Schmidt was missing to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
But Schmidt's a little behind.
He also didn't have a full spring training, so
Right.
you should consider when thinking about Schmidt, you should give him an extra 2 weeks or so from when the
this is spring training 1.5 for him, basically.
And real quick, shout out to Brad for his comment here. He said the bad content creators and fans losing it at the lack of off-season edition 2025 start.
Well, the Yankees also had a lot of they spent a lot of money on Fried. I mean, I think Fried is the best pitching starter they
Fried is a
signed
godsend.
since Garrett Cole. And
So far.
Oh, he's the best star. I think he's your best.
He's your best
top
free
50
agent
AL
signing
for
since
sure.
Garrett Cole, and him and Garrett Cole are the best free agent signings they've had since CC and Burnett and Teixeira.
Mhm.
If today were game 162, Max Fried, Cy Young, hands down, not even a question.
As of right now, yeah.
You're not thinking he's going to go undefeated the entire year.
I'm not saying undefeated. I'm just saying the way his metrics with ERA, strikeouts, walks, all the things that count.
So
undefeated, no pitcher goes undefeated. That's unrealistic.
Yeah, let me ask this question because you guys brought up, we talked about Dominguez a little bit because I know a few people on the live stream yesterday on the play-by-play, and again, once again, folks in the chat answer this question. You think there will ever be a time where Dominguez strictly bats bats left-handed, and the organization tells him, hey, you know what? Let's just have you bat left-handed because we know he's a switch hitter. We know that he needs to make his improvements. My guess, right, just to give you my guess, I think the Yankees are going to continue sticking with him as a switch hitter, and they would want him to make his improvements on the right side. Would you guys agree with that?
I agree.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
I agree that that is going to happen. However, I think, in my personal opinion, I think he should stick to the left side at least for now until he can show he can hit right-handed. I mean, based on what he's doing, if he's better from the left side, let him stay at the left side. Don't worry about the righty. And that way he can focus more on batting from the left side, not have to focus on the right, and improving from the left side. It's also less of a batting practice and less of a work on his body too.
Yep. Sunil, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm looking at Brad's comment, and he stole the thought right out of my mind. I was just going to say you need to have Dominguez working with a guy like Bernie Williams, who was one of your better switch hitters in the dynasty days, between him and Posada. One of those, I was going to say, needs to work with Dominguez to basically help him develop into a better switch hitter and balance out the lineup. So that was going to be my one condition to saying I agree with you, is to have that in place as a strategy. And it sort of fits the same narrative where when you had a pitcher like Luis Severino struggling when he came up in 15 and 16, he missed one of those years because of injury. And then in the 16 to 17 offseason, he worked pretty vividly with Pedro Martinez to develop into a better pitcher. So this is kind of working along the same strategy lines as that.
Yeah, and and I'm seeing a couple of comments here. So Stephen B is saying no, give him time. He's adjusting to the right-handed swing, which that's what I'm after. It's like, hey, you got to give this guy time, like you would any other young guy. We know that, and again, this has been discussed before, that from the right side of the plate, he does not hit well, even before he was brought up. That's been talked about, right? And Brad says, let Dominguez develop. Stop trying to have him purely hitting lefty. I agree, 100%. I think you got to give him time. You do have to absolutely give him time. But I do have somebody else waiting in the back. This is SGA. I'm sure you've all seen him in the live chats. SGA Sports Talk. He's a Giants channel. He's a Giants fan. I don't know if he follows the Yankees or not. I'll bring him up and see if he has anything to say about the Yankees. But, I mean, it's purely a Yankees talk, but, of course, all fans are welcome. I don't really care what team you support. But I'll bring him up. I don't see him on camera, but I'll bring him up. I don't know if he can hear me, but I got you up here, dude.
As a diehard Giants fan, our team has also been having a tough start to the season. We're 19-12. We're enduring so many injuries. They're impacting our team so much. Casey Schmidt is going to return in early May. Gerard Encarnacion is going to return in June. Two of our best hitters. We're struggling to find consistency at first base. Lamont Wade Jr. hasn't been performing that well. Schmidt and Encarnacion are out. So we need to find some other players to step up, and that's the problem with this team is facing. This team is enduring so many injuries. Like, so many players are getting injured a lot, and it's just it's heartbreaking that that's how this team is performing. And we just got swept by the Padres, and we're on a 2-game losing streak. So this team has to find ways of being better, and being a better organization.
Well,
so,
what do they need to improve on? What could the organization do then?
So Schmidt and Casey Schmidt and Gerard Encarnacion are out due to injuries, and Lamont Wade Jr. has not been performing really well, and they need somebody else to step up because we have nobody to replace Schmidt, replace somebody at first base for the Giants.
First base needs improvement for the Giants. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they need improvement because Lamont Wade Jr. is underperforming. He's not performing at his best. He's literally a dumpster fire.
Okay.
Lamont Wade Jr.
Okay. What are you liking about the Giants so far? They're 19.
I just like that they're a resilient team, and I like that they bounce back from adversities they face, and they can get back. And I know that they can get back on the winning track. They just have to work hard for the whole season. I know it's a 162 game season in baseball, so there's a lot of games left in the season. So Giants can get back on their winning ways.
Okay. And then I know I asked this question to Sunil, Ken, and Jonathan, based for the Yankees. For you, the Giants, what do you like? What do you like about this 2025 Giants team compared to 2024? Like, what are you seeing in 2025?
I mean, we saw a small sample set in the head-to-head with the Yankees, how batters like Jung Ho Lee were a developing phenom. Basically, it was almost like he was like the Bonds from overseas is the narrative, I guess, even though he doesn't have the accolades that Bonds does and everything, steroids and everything aside, but
sure.
Yeah, but he still puts that presence in the lineup of a Pablo. What's this guy's name? I forget the
Pablo Sandoval.
Sandoval. Yeah. I was drawing a brain fart for a minute. Sorry, guys.
SGA, you still there?
Like the 2024 San Francisco Giants team more than 2025 because they had Madison Bumgarner, Tim Lincecum, Buster Posey, the catcher. I used to go to a lot of games when they were the 2024 Giants, but The 2025 Giants are not. I mean, they're good too. I mean, they're not a bad team either. You know,
But what
they're
do you
both teams are really good. I supported either team. Either I supported the 2024 Giants and the 2025 Giants, but
okay?
you
But
know,
what do you like about the 2025 Giants better than the 2024 Giants?
they have new players. They have Matt Chapman, Jung Hoo Lee's the newest acquisition, Willie Damas. So they have more newer acquisitions in the 2025 Giants team
Hmm.
compared to the 2024 Giants team. Because they have
Okay,
Willie Damas,
but
they
what
have
are they
Jung Hoo
doing?
Lee.
What are they doing better though? I'm asking, what are they doing better? I mean, I know they got the players, but what is the 2020 like? What do you think they're doing better in this season compared to last season? I'm
Hitting
not,
better.
okay,
They're hitting better.
okay.
Um. So what are your what do you Sunil, what do you think the Giants are doing better? The 2025 Giants. What do you think they're doing better than last year's Giants? Like what do you think they're doing better?
So far,
Hitting better.
I would agree with your offensive approach. The hitting better is definitely there because I mean, you saw in the very first game how they teed off on Stroman. Stroman is a notable veteran in this league, and they basically took him to town and took him out in 2/3 of an inning with not as many veteran players. Um, I have to give you credit on basically getting the signing of Willie Adames, who publicly this offseason went on record as saying he wanted to play for the Yankees, I believe, since he was a big, Derek Jeter disciple, basically, being at that left side of the infield at shortstop, at third base, but Jeter, of course, being the shortstop. So you definitely got a lot of good, acquisitions this offseason. I think having a veteran presence in your starting rotation, like Justin Verlander, it's going to be more of a mental help because he's got the accolades and the experience to back it up. So he can definitely be that brain power behind the rotation success. Whether he contributes to it personally or not is to be seen. I'm not sure of his injury status, so I'm not sure if he's been out there yet. I haven't really watched the Giants too closely to notice that much.
So I mean,
Yes.
as a Giants fan, the 2024 Giants was very nostalgic to me. It brought tears to my eyes to see Pablo Sandoval on the team, Buster Posey on the team, Madison Bumgarner on the team,
Wasn't
Lincecum on
that
the
the
team,
2014
Brian
Giants
Wilson.
though?
I don't It might be the 2024 or the prior year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure. I have to look it up
Mm-hmm.
and get that accurate because I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if it's the prior Giants team or the 2024 Giants team.
Okay.
So
I'm not
real
really
quick,
sure.
let me ask this question. I'll ask this question to Sunil and Jonathan,
Yeah.
right? As far as the Yankees go, and I'll ask the same question to SGA. Except we'll talk Giants with you. Month of May, obviously, new games, new series, new month, right? So, today's a day off for the Yankees. It's an opportunity for them to kind of regroup, hopefully. They are still in first place by a game and a half in the AL East.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, despite the struggles,
Mm-hmm.
the other teams in the AL East are also struggling too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. There's still some of those games that the Yankees should have won, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at the month of May, all right, I'll just
Mm-hmm.
kind of run through the series here. So they're going to open up the month of May starting tomorrow against Tampa Bay in a 3-game set at Yankee Stadium. After Tampa Bay, you got San Diego coming in on a 3-game set. They got a day off next Thursday. Then they have a West Coast trip. They're going to travel to
The Athletics.
Sacramento. Yep, and
Mm-hmm.
then to Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a day off. So they got 3 Thursdays off in a row before they
Mm-hmm.
come back from their West Coast trip. They're going to come back to the Bronx. They're going to host the
Mm-hmm.
Mets. Then day off on Monday. Rangers come into town. Then of course they come out here to Colorado, which I cannot wait for that. I'm going to all the games. Then they have another West Coast trip here. So then they're going to go play against the Angels, They have a day off on that Thursday. Then they travel. They're going to go play against the Dodgers in a 3-game set before they conclude the month of May. I guess it's kind of a 2-part question here. How do you all feel about the schedule? How well do you think they're going to do? If you had to predict, and what is something that you would like to see better with this team?
So there's going to be a lot of litmus tests from what we saw in the schedule.
You'll give your take, and I'll go Jonathan right after.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of litmus tests early on. I mean, San Diego coming to the Bronx is going to be an early test of good teams battling face to face. And I like the fact that we're probably, we got Fried tomorrow against Tampa. After Fried, we got Schmidt. And then we have Warren. That's going to be in the Tampa series. So that means after Warren, we're probably going to have Rodon, Carrasco, and then Fried in the San Diego series for our matchups. That should give us the best chance to take 2 out of 3 there.
Against San Diego?
Against San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah, because our 2 lefties have been giving us the most length, and that's what we need against a well-to-do opponent like San Diego this year, who's been, amongst the top in the NL West. As far as your point earlier about the AL in general, whether you want to characterize this as the AL East or the AL in general, I would say the AL in general has been a bloodbath. Not a single team has shown any dominance of pulling away, similar to how the Dodgers and the Mets have, when they had single-digit losses up until recently. So the AL has yet to show me a team that's going to be truly dominant. I will say that. Coming back to the Yankees schedule, it'll be telling. This is going to be a tough road to maintain first place in a bloodbath-filled AL.
Because I think the month of May, I think that's going to. It's clearly, to me, I think it's going to be a tougher schedule than April.
Oh, easily. Yes.
April should have been a better record. It should have been a better record, but it was just like simple, small things that they just could not execute, And but I think looking at the schedule, me personally, I'm a little. The Padres worry me.
The Dodgers worry us.
Oh, the Dodgers are definitely going to worry me. I mean, Dodgers are always.
Oh yeah, and one more thing about the Dodgers: as much as possible, keep Judge out of right field. Either that or cement that right field door shut, please.
I think they already did. I think they fixed that. I want to say they fixed it. I think they fixed it, but going back to what I was saying, the Mets series, that's always gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, let's see how that's gonna shape up. I'm not sleeping on the Texas Rangers. I'm definitely not sleeping on them. The Angels, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily sleep on them either, because when the Yankees play them in LA, like the Angels kind of have their number, like they do, like they tend to play well against the Yankees. So it's just a I don't know. The May is going to be interesting. It's going to be a little tougher than April, but that's my take on it. And Mr. Coconut says, still have our number, and the Red Sox play us hard, as they lost only one more.
We don't face the Red Sox until June, from what I've seen.
Yeah, they're not playing the Red Sox till June, but we'll worry about the month of June when that comes around. But Jonathan, I throw it over to you, man. All yours.
Well, the month of May is going to be a very difficult month. The only easy team I see is the Rockies, and of course you're going to be in the stadium to cheer them on. But the Yankees have to, as I said, they have to hit with runners in scoring position. They have to move the ball. They have to limit their strikeouts, and they have to work the pitchers. If they can do all of that, I think they'll have a very successful month of May. If they can't do that, then we're going to be here in a month. We're going to have to do this again in a month and discuss what they could do better, how they could do better, and I'm hoping that in May, Heel and Schmidt will return to improve their or at least one of them will return to
Heel's
improve.
coming back in like June or July.
Give or
Well,
take. Yeah, he just began his throwing program on
I'm hoping
Sunday.
Schmidt can return.
Mm.
If Schmidt can return and give them a solid start, I don't expect him to be the 263 pitcher when he comes back, but
Mhm.
maybe he can go 5 to 6 innings every start and save the bullpen. So
Mhm.
Do you think that the month of May will be better for the Yankees, or
I
you
think
think?
the month of May will be slightly better. They will
Okay.
have better weather. I don't
Mhm.
expect much rain. So, I think they have the weather, the warmer weather to help improve their team.
Mhm.
Of course,
Mhm.
when they're on the road,
Mhm.
look, I'm just hoping for a better month of May than they had April, and maybe it can be the opposite effect of what they did in last year. Last year they had a very strong April, I believe, and
Yeah,
then they went downhill for a little bit while before taking it up in the end of the season in the last 2 months.
So as a Giants fan, the 2024 season wasn't looking so great because we got eliminated. We didn't make it to the postseason. Things weren't going right. This year it's looking much better. Like I know like we're 19-12 on the record and we have a 2-game losing streak, but I think this season's looking much more better and planning to look much more better than what happened last year. Cuz last
all
year
right,
was not great at all. Like it was just didn't look so good last year.
all right. SGA, real quick. When somebody's giving their take, just don't interrupt, man. I'll let you speak for sure, but just let the person finish their take. Because I was going to come to you. I was definitely going to come to you and ask you about the Giants. So you'll have your take, bro. I got you. But when somebody's giving their take, just be respectful. We're all listening to you. Just listen to everybody else. But I
Well, for my recap, I'll just
Go ahead.
I'll
Yeah,
just
no,
say
do your thing. Go ahead,
I'll
Jonathan.
just say I'm hoping the Yankees can improve. I'm hoping Will Warren can work out whatever problems he's working out during his starts, and maybe Will Warren has shown signs that he can be a good pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for him to show the sign of the good pitcher rather than the struggling rookie. I understand he's a rookie. It's his first time out. You get chills down your spine. You messes with your head. Get through that phase, and then just pitch your game and go have a good career.
Yep.
Absolutely,
I
100%,
agree.
100%. Solid takes. So SGA, real quick, I'm gonna ask you something. I do have Joe from NY Yankee Mania. He's in the back. Joe, I'll bring you up here momentarily. There's a few questions I'm going to ask you that I asked Sunil and Jonathan when it comes to the New York Yankees. So I'll bring you up here in just a moment. So SGA, let me ask you a question about the Giants here. So looking at the month of May, looks like y'all have a 4-game series against the Rockies, 3 games against the Cubs. Then you're traveling. They're traveling to Chicago to play the Cubs. Then they play against the Twins in Minnesota. Come back home to play against the Diamondbacks. Play against the A's. They have a 3-game series against the A's. Then they play the host the Royals. They travel to Washington to play against the Nationals, and then go to Detroit to play against the Tigers. Then they finish off the month of May against the Marlins. Just looking at the month of May, just 2025 San Francisco Giants, the month of May. What are you feeling about? How do you feel about this schedule? Do you think they will have a good month of May? Because right now, what is it? They're 19-12 and they're in 3rd place. So let me know how you feel about the schedule. What teams worry you in the month of May?
So in the month of May, all those teams that you listed that the Giants play, I'm not worried about any of them. I know that we're on a 2-game losing streak. I know we're gonna bounce back, and get back on the winning ways. We're 19-12. We just got swept by the Padres in a 2-game series. Um, so I know I think we're resilient. I think we're gonna do fine. Well, and we'll take it game by game. You know, I don't want to take I don't want to take I don't want to I don't want to because you listed all those games, but I want to go game by game and assess each game one at a time, rather than just looking at 5 games all at once and just doing it that way. That's a not a good way of looking at it. You know, you got to look at game by game and win each game you play. You look at 5 games at a time. That's not gonna work well because you might lose all 5 of those games. You might win one of those games. You might lose the other 4. So you don't want to look at that way. That's not a sound way of looking at, of analyzing the information.
Okay. Let me bring up Joe real quick. Let me see if he's ready to go. If you want to give me a thumbs up, let me know if you're ready to go. All right, cool. So what's going on, Joe? Welcome, Joe from
How you
NY.
doing, guys? How's everything?
Pretty good, man. I was just kind of going around. I did a little round table here, so I'll ask the same questions that I asked the guys here. So I'll start with this. So with the Yankees so far, right? They have an 18-13 record. They finished the month of April 15-13, right? Just to kind of recap the series here in the month of April. So they started off the season sweeping the Brewers. Month of April went like this. They went 1-2 versus the Diamondbacks, 2-1 against the Pirates, 1-2 against the Tigers, 1-2 versus the Giants, 3-0. They swept the Royals. They went 3-1 against the Rays, 1-2 against the Guardians, 2-1 versus the Blue Jays, 1-2 against the Orioles. That series that just ended yesterday. But I want to ask you, because I asked the same questions to these guys. What are you liking about this 2025 Yankees team that you didn't see in 2024? And what are you not liking about this team so far? I know it's been only 31 games. I know it's still early. There's still a lot of base games to be played. But what are your thoughts there, Joe?
Well, I think they are definitely a little bit more athletic, no question about it. Up and down the lineup is definitely more telling. I don't like the lineup. I don't like Anthony Volpe batting 5th. That's ridiculous. He should be batting either lower, much lower. And Dominguez should be brought up a little bit, even though he's struggling. It's almost time to give up the switch hitting. I think he should just bat left-handed, concentrate on one side if he's going to be made a star. Too much pressure on him on both sides. He could have a great game from the left side, but nothing on the right side, and it brings him back down to having a big problem. So I would definitely consider making him. Maybe they'll start. Who knows? In the off season, he is only 22 years old. I'm just liking a few things. There are things that I don't like. They swing and miss too much, as always. The past 3, 4, 5 years, that's all we see. Strikeout. I'm tired of it. Look at other teams in the league that are successful. They meet the ball, and of course, the number one thing that drives me absolutely crazy is the ability to get the man in from third base. It is so ridiculous that a team could be so bad and so disgusting. And how many games did we lose this year because we can't get one run out of third base? It's disgusting, guys. And you know what? Let's stop sugarcoating. Let's put something up their backsides to say it's about time. We have holes here, but everybody wants to play nicey-nicey. You can't do that anymore with this team. It's a $300 million ball club. And it's time that everybody wakes up and smells the coffee with this team. It really is. I didn't mean to go on a rant, but
no, you're good. I know. I appreciate. That's why I'm asking these questions. If you want to go on a rant, go on a rant. However you want to approach it. So I mean, Sunil gave his take. Jonathan gave his take. I gave my take. Folks in the chat.
I will just say this in appreciation of what Joe is saying. It almost sounded like I was listening to the radio back in the '80s with the likes of Pete Franklin and Mike Francesa on the radio. It was basically a couple of F-bombs short of that, basically.
Yeah.
No, I lose my temper, but I won't throw an F-bomb in there. I'm more respectful.
No, man,
to you,
your tirade was spot on, though. I will tell you that.
Thank
So
you. Yeah,
you're
no,
you're
I'm
liking
sorry.
the fact that the team is more athletic, but just not liking the way they're hitting. You're not liking the lineup. Is that what I'm getting at?
Correct.
Is that okay? I agree with you that this team has a little bit more athleticism, especially particularly with the defense, because that's something that us and the panel here with Jonathan Sunil, when Ken was on earlier, we were in agreement that the defense on this team is way better. And even though, like what I was saying too, Joe, was that even though with some of the names that are not coming through offensively, they're making it happen on the field, which I can appreciate because, there was games last year where they were losing because of bad defense. I know, like I brought up Jazz Chisholm's name. I know he hasn't been hitting. He swings at everything. He swings for the moon, but at least he's making plays happen at second base, which is like it's a breath of fresh air. You're seeing great plays from Goldschmidt. That guy, old man.
That's my boy. Poultry you can't touch.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have Judge constantly hitting 427 and Goldschmidt hitting near 370. You got to fire Rousen, man.
Right.
Well, yeah.
I do have another observation, guys, that may seem very minor to you guys.
Okay.
But trust me when I tell you, I'm always on the button with it.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Grissom is a great center fielder. But trust me when I tell you, we better watch. He better watch, and the Yankees better watch him closely because he's lackadaisical in some of those plays when it's a base hit to center field. Now, it hasn't really hurt them. It only hurt them one time, but he botches balls on the ground. I know he's a great center fielder, but that's going to come and bite the Yankees you know where. Because it all comes down to the World Series, playoffs, and I'm telling you, if they don't address that, we're going to have a big problem. Remember, you come back to this show in October, and you tell me if I wasn't right.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to disagree with you. You're 100% right, especially after that fifth inning we saw last year in Game 5. You're 100% right. There is no part of me that's going to disagree with you there whatsoever. But I will also bring up to your point about Grisham in center field being lackadaisical on those base hit types. You remember that play at Progressive Field with Bellinger in center and Rodon on the mound?
Yes.
What he did, that's pretty much the same illustration right there.
Yep.
And that was a game I was sitting there watching, and I was like, oh, shit, Rodon's going to get victimized again, isn't he? Luckily, he had the wherewithal. He just sat there and dogged his way through. Yeah. That's a testament to an improvement on Rodon. And one more improvement that nobody's mentioned on this panel here today. Everybody was concerned about the production at DH and the absence of Giancarlo Stanton. Ben Rice has more than done his share there. He has been more than adequate. And of course, everybody else who's filled it. Judge is, of course, Judge. You don't criticize that. Goldie's filled in a game or two at DH. I mean, we've had adequate coverage at DH between all the flexibility that gives this team a little bit of a leisure to let Stanton heal properly from his elbow issues.
On the subject of Stanton, when do you think he could return?
Well, he just got put on the 60-day IL, so I'm thinking after the All-Star break.
After the All-Star break?
That's again, I don't know.
This is your opinion.
Yeah. My guess. Yeah, my guess is after the All-Star break.
Okay.
This is where I'm going to encourage you guys to watch Joey from the Shifts video because he explained it pretty well. He said basically Stanton has been on the IL since the start of the season, and it's been one 10-day stint after another until he gets his elbows right and basically is in shape to at least start baseball activities and begin playing. So in effect, they could get him in there by the middle of June. They just needed to do the move today just to make room on the 40-man roster to bring in and claim Brian De La Cruz off the waivers from the Florida Marlins or Atlanta Braves, wherever he was last.
Right.
Let me ask this question to Joe real quick. So the month of May, right, coming up. I don't know if you looked at the schedule, right? So new month, new games, new series, new opportunities for the Yankees here. The schedule is certainly a little bit tougher. There's no doubt about that. So just to go over their schedule one more time with you there, Joe. So they're going to open up the series against Tampa Bay at Yankee Stadium. Then the Padres come into town. Then they go travel west. They're going to go play against the Athletics, then the Mariners. Before coming back to the Bronx, there's going to be a Subway Series. And after the Mets come to the Bronx, they will host the Texas Rangers before they travel back out west again. So they're going to have 2 West Coast trips. Then they're going to travel to Colorado, and then LA. They're going to play against the Angels and the Dodgers. So how do you feel about the month of May? Do you have any worry about the schedule? Do you think they can bounce back? Do you think they'll play better? Let me get your thoughts on that, Joe.
Well, I'm totally honest with you. I've been through close to 48 Mays in my lifetime with the Yankees, and they always go to the West Coast. They average about 4 wins. Their best, they went 7-1 a few years back. They always have a problem. What I do like about it's typically a very good month for them, notwithstanding my birthday. And on top of that, not all these years, but the all-time record on my birthday, they're 59-36. So if you're big Yankee fans, you should go back on your birthday and see exactly what they do, because they're definitely going to win on May 4th. So Sunday, guaranteed win. I'll go on record and say that. But,
all right.
Now I haven't been around for 59-36, but they are 14 games over 500 since I've been born. So that'll tell you that.
Since it's May 4th, are you gonna get out your lightsaber?
The what?
Star Wars.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
I don't know if you got the reference. It's the start. May the 4th be with you. It's a Star Wars reference.
Oh yeah, of course. Are you kidding? They usually, like I said, they have the West Coast, and that's the only one that scares me. I think this year, as long as they're healthy, I think they're going to take care of the Mets. The Padres going to be a good series, but I think we'll hold our own. Overall, my opinion, and we can go back to it on June 1st, the Yankees will be 6 games over 500 in May. Is that good enough? I don't know, but I think it is.
Okay.
As long as the AL is a bloodbath, that's basically what matters. It was a bloodbath the first 31 or so games on average for each team. If that pace sustains, you might be on a good stretch there.
If the Yankees are going to take off this year, guys, it's going to be after June 15th. That's when you're going to start seeing 15 games over, 20 games over, 25 games over.
Yep.
As long as they stay healthy, you get Giancarlo back. You get Jonathan Lasagna, Loizaga back. Kill a bullpen, and you could do a lot of maneuvers. But to me, Cookie's gone. He's got to go. Nice, thank you, but see you later. I don't want to see Marcus Stroman anymore. Thank you for your service.
Oh, he's on the 150-day IL.
Yeah, it's impossible, but I do believe they're going to have a decent month. I really do.
Okay.
But take it to the bank. May 4th, Yankees win. Guarantee you.
Cool.
So let me ask
hold on there, SGA. So I was going to ask you real quick, because I'm gonna shut this thing down. As far as the San Francisco Giants go, I know you're saying you're going to take it 1 game at a time. You don't want to look at 5 games at a time, and I understand that. But I want to ask this last question to you, and like I said, I'll shut it down and I'll give everybody else final thoughts. But San Francisco Giants, month of May. Once again, I know you're taking it 1 game at a time. Do you feel good about this team in the month of May?
I feel good about this team in the month of May. I feel that this team will do good. I have no things that worry me at this point.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
So
Yes.
I'm a longtime Giants fan. I went to games at AT&T Park and Oracle Park. The 2010 Giants was one of my favorite one of my favorite teams because they had Buster Posey and Tim Lincecum and Madison Bumgarner. It was 2010, not 2023. I don't know. I said 2023. I had to look it up.
All
It was
right.
2010. It was 2010, not 2023. 2023 didn't have Buster Posey. Not
Cool.
even
Well,
2024.
I'm only
I, w-
focused on it now, bro. So
I was wrong. So I corrected myself.
yeah. Well, we're focused on it now. Well, we could always visit the history on
Uh,
a later date. So
Viewers, make sure to click the like button, smash the subscribe button, ring that notification bell for NFE the Strike Zone. He makes some great New York Yankees content. So if you don't want to miss out on anything this guy's putting out on the channel, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. Show him some love. Thanks for coming on here. I know this is a Yankee-based stream where you're just talking New York Yankees, but it's great that you have other teams on here as well.
I appreciate the kind words, man. But yeah, we'll see you later, man. But
Hey, it's great coming on the show, and I'll see you around.
All right, bud. Take it
See you
easy.
later.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.
All right. Let me get final thoughts from each of you gentlemen. So wherever you want. So Sunil, I'll start with you. So whatever you want to close it out with, and then I'll go to Jonathan and then Joe.
So I was going to close out with my final point related to difficulties that we expect to see in the month of May.
Okay.
Circle the dates on the calendar. You see Will Warren and Carlos Carrasco pitch, because those are going to be games to watch and basically get notable performances on, because those games will be the make or break for this month. We know to expect great things from Fried and Rodon, so I'm not too worried there. Will Warren and Carlos Carrasco have to step up. Schmidt is still going through a little bit of a spring training phase, so I'm going to give a little patience to him. So that's my take on the pitching side. This is what I'm looking to see that needs to step it up in order for Yankees to be successful in the month of May.
Okay. Fair points. Solid points. Jonathan?
Yes, I'm gonna focus on today's game. They're playing against the Rays. I think the Yankees have to be very careful when the Rays get a man on
Tomorrow's
base.
game.
They're off today, bud. They're going to start tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the next series, I should say, not tomorrow,
Yes.
not today. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
The next series, the Yankees playing the Rays. They have to be very careful. Try to control the running game. I know Max Fried has a good pickup move, but the Rays are a running team, fast team, and the Yankees, they have to focus on getting the base runner in from scoring position. If they can get the runners in from scoring position against the Rays, limit the strikeouts, I think they will have a very successful series. If they can't do that, then we're going to be here talking about this in the next stream, saying, why didn't the Yankees just pinch one onto the opposite field and get 2 runs?
Oh, there's always going to be those questions constantly. So
yeah,
cool, man. Cool. Joe, final words from you, man. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, let's buy the Yankees. Why don't we do that? And like this, we'll show them exactly what it means to bring another championship, number 28. No, I'm just kidding, guys. My take for May, my number one hot batter for the month of May is going to be Clay Bellinger.
Yes.
I predict he's going to have a very, very solid month.
Cody?
I also think I think Aaron Judge obviously will get his singles and all because they're going to start not pitching to him. And that's where Clay Bellinger comes. And I beg to change the lineup. That's all I ask. Don't put so much pressure on Anthony Volpe. Put him down. Let him gain the confidence again, hitting wise. No reason he's got to be batting fourth or fifth or not fourth, but fifth. Get him down there. It won't hurt the kid. It will not hurt the kid. He's still the shortstop of the New York Yankees. Period. And let's do that. Let's be smart about it. Don't put the pressure on these guys.
Real quick, I think you meant to say Cody Bellinger. You said Clay Bellinger a couple times.
I do that because I grew up with his dad. But I'm an old fogey, guys. I look young, but
and if you got somebody older than me on here too, just remember.
What?
I'm aware.
But believe me, my heart's 30 years old. But I've seen every Yankee team in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. So it's very, very hard to get by any part of any of those teams. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. And it's great. But guys, you all do a wonderful job. And I got to tell you, I feel very lucky being with all you guys. NFE, I can't say enough about you, Jonathan. You're the king of breaking stories. I haven't worked with you, sir, but I would like, that would be nice. You seem well. Anything with NFE, that's a friend of mine, no matter what, for life. Then if you want to get rid of me, you get rid of me. But the bottom line is, you guys are aces, and I mean that from the heart. You guys are all good people first, and creators and fans, and I really appreciate it. And whatever I can do to help, I'll be here for you guys at all times.
So, Joe, before you go, let me throw a quick playful over-under. You see that Judge is batting .427 at the end of April. What do you think the over-under is when we reconvene for the best and worst of the month of May? What do you think is the over-under for his batting average to be at that point?
I see him around 348.
348?
I see him around 348.
Jonathan?
Yes, because I think he's going to walk more, and he's not going to be pitched to as much, unless Cody Bellinger. Here we go again. Did I say it right? I said it right.
Cody. You said Cody.
Cody Bellinger, and Paul G is Paul G, and the other guys. But that's my take. I think, obviously he's not going to bat 400 all year. He's, with the strikeouts and all, he's not going to do that. But 348, I could see.
Yeah. Jonathan,
at least for me. I don't know for the rest of the year.
It's impossible for him to keep up the April he has for batting 427. So I do expect a downturn. But again, I would say around 350.
I'm kind of like
where you at?
350, maybe even 345. But he'll keep up the numbers. He might, and I do expect him to have more power in April, and especially when the weather gets up. So I expect
more in May. You mean?
I expect May he will have lower numbers in the average, but more home runs.
All right.
Yeah, you know what? I was right there with Jonathan. I think he'll end the season with 350. At best, I'll say 360. Because
that's end of season, but I'm saying, where will he be at the end of May?
Oh, at the end of May? Okay, end of May. You know what? End of May, because he's at 417, right? Is that what we said?
427.
427, excuse me. 427. Shoot, that's a big dip. That is a big dip from 427 to 350. I was thinking season, so my fault on that. But I think he'll be in the three, because he's at 427. I'll say 375.
Yeah. So you're almost like in the same territory where I was going to end up. I was going to say anywhere between 375 and 395 because the weather's getting warmer. Even if he gets his walks, right? He's going to have opportunities to hit because some of the pitchers, even when they try to unintentionally walk him, they may just accidentally, throw like a cutter on the outside, and Judge is going to go Aquataco on that.
So
Yeah.
Whether
I
it's a home run or a double or whatever.
maybe I can add an additional question to what you said. What do you think his home run numbers will be at the end of May?
He's a San Francisco kid, and maybe this is a question we could have had with SGA on the platform, but that's okay. I think he's going to break Bonds' record.
You think? Yeah.
I think he's going to top
As I
73.
said, the end of May. Right now, he has 10 home runs.
Yeah.
In 1 month,
Uh-huh.
how many home runs does he have?
I'll just
Well,
give
don't-
mine quick. I'll say 15. And I'll just
Don't forget, he had, 6 or 7 at the end of April last year, and he ended up with 58.
I am
that means
talking
good.
about May.
I know.
May.
So
Okay.
you're already thinking about October.
I'm not thinking about October. I'm just talking about a trajectory where he is now, comparing it to where he was a year ago. And then if you build up as the weather goes warmer and warmer, to answer your question specifically about May, I think he's going to have individually in May, I want to say between 15 and 20. If I were to land on a firm number, I'm thinking 17 or 18. So he's going to have 28 home runs by June 1st.
28. So you're predicting he goes up to 28 by the end.
Oh yeah.
Let's
I mean,
get
if he goes to Seattle, he tortures Seattle. Don't forget.
Yeah, let's get the final number from Joe, and then I'm gonna end the live stream here. So, so
Joe,
I can have to wrap it up.
Yeah, the question is, how many home runs do you think Judge will have at the end of May?
Strictly home runs for May.
Yeah, right now he has 10. What does he end within this month?
Both of these guys said like 10 to 15. I said 17 to 18, Joe.
Well, first off, can Joe hear us?
I don't know.
I don't think he hears us. Joe.
I think he's on mute, or either he's got like maybe local audio issues.
Hey, Joe, we're trying to. Yeah, I don't think he's hearing us. Joe, can you hear us?
We can't hear him. I mean, his mic is inaudible.
Joe, can you hear us?
All is frozen, guys.
I hear you now.
Oh, it's frozen. Okay, looks like you're. Can you hear us?
Now he's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen. Okay.
I barely can hear you.
Well, okay. The question is, Judge has 10 home runs now. How many home runs will he have when May is over?
I think there's a connection issue with Joe's end right now. So I'll tell you what, I'll get Joe's answer if he wants to answer, and then I'll let you know, Jonathan. How about that?
Okay,
so because I do need to wrap it up here. I do need to get going. So but this was a fun time, guys. Like, we're hour and 30 minutes. Holy crap. I didn't even know it was like that long. Joe, are you good? There's still a bit of a connection issue with Joe.
A little. I can hear you now. I'm the only one I see moving. Everybody else is frozen.
Okay, there might be a connection problem. There might be an internet issue or something on your end. You might have to close out real quick and then come right back in. But I'll just end it right here. I'll try to get the answer from Joe. But once again, I do appreciate all you gentlemen jumping on. Ken, Sunil, Jonathan, Joe, SGA from our Giants sports fan, our Giants friend there. So do appreciate you gentlemen coming on. But we'll do this again. This was strictly for like the members only. So because I just wanted to open it up to the members. Yeah. So, but we'll do this again sometime. I don't know when, but be on the lookout. And as I said, if I do shows like this and I open up to everybody, to all the subscribers, to everybody else in the channel, I'm never going to announce open panels. It's going to be literally random. It's going to be a surprise. It's going to be spontaneous. So
Yeah.
that's all I got to say.
You do what you got to do. You can't control things, man. I mean,
Yeah. So that's the way I'll do it. But this was a good conversation, though. I like the conversations. I like the takes. So I appreciate you gentlemen coming on. I'll drop you guys down, and then I will close this thing out. And thank you guys for coming on. Yeah, I'll drop you guys. So thank you, Sunil and Jonathan.
Yep.
I'll drop you gentlemen down, and I'll close it out. But folks in the chat, thank you for coming on. It is greatly appreciated. Obviously, the Yankees are off today. They'll be back tomorrow. All right, they'll be playing against the Rays. They'll be back at the stadium. But I appreciate all you guys and gals that jumped in. Thank you all so much. As always, I appreciate everybody. Make sure you all subscribe to the channel. Like this live stream. It does help out. It does help out the live streams. It does help out the channel. Continue sharing this channel out with everybody you know. All right, let's continue growing this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a great night, everyone. Let's go, Yankees.